Ministers are proposing changes to laws that allow big tech firms to use any online material, such as text, images, music, all to train their AI models, without respecting copyright laws that ensure that creators are paid for their work. Many are calling for Keir Starmer's government to rethink these proposed changes and protect the artistic genius of which this country is famous. But what are Labour's plans, and who exactly will be affected? Watch on to find out. The government had opened a public consultation claiming its aim was to lure AI developers to the UK while safeguarding British creative industries. Ministers have actually said that their preferred course of action for this was to allow these big tech firms to, well, basically scrape whatever information that they needed, whether it's your text, your images, your music, to train their AI models, but without copyright infringement. This would be known as text-to-data mining exception, and firms would use this to make their AI models more advanced and, well, human-like. So under these plans, firms would have to actually opt out of allowing these big tech firms to actually, well, use their data without permission. The great strength of this century-old British copyright law is that it gives an automatic protection to its creators. This basically means that your work doesn't have to be registered. So any creator, whether they're generating music, photos, even journalists, are automatically given this protection. So if somebody was to, well, steal or use their work without their knowledge, yeah, they're protected and covered, so which they could claim compensation. And it's this protection that has actually helped British industries for many, many years. I mean, critics are actually saying that this change in the law is going to allow these big tech firms, most of them in Silicon Valley, to, well, basically use your work without paying for it. And if you don't want your work used, well, you have to opt out and say, I don't want you to use my material. But the thing is this does come with some drawbacks. And one of these drawbacks is going to be that, well, basically, many of your small-time creators of music, photography are not going to be able to afford these very expensive lawyers to, well, basically opt them out and challenge these big tech firms. Well, ministers say that the current law is, well, very unclear when it comes to AI. And this is basically deterring these big tech firms from actually investing in the UK. They claim that the best way to support these AI firms and safeguard artists is to require increased transparency from developers on what content they use to train their AI models, while also introducing the text-to-data mining exception. And as we all know, is that Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves are trying to find any way possible to try to boost a not so good economy. And they're thinking that this, with these big tech firms and their AI, can, well, sort of help boost them numbers. But critics of the plan actually disagree. They're saying that Britain's creative industry is worth 126 billion and also supports 2.4 million jobs, and this should be protected. And they also say that any benefits would be, well, quite easily funneled abroad. Well, actually, there's actually been no economic assessment for this plan, and ministers are hoping that this plan will just lure investors of AI into the country. But the act of data mining is very, very energy intensive, and, well, let's face it, energy in the UK is not the cheapest and is probably at the moment one of the most expensive So why would you put these mining data centres in the UK where the costs are going to be a lot higher when you could actually just, well, have them in California for a fraction of the cost? Well, basically tens of thousands of creative figures in the world of film, music, arts, publishing, and etc. etc. And also you got to look at the people that these employ, which could result in millions of jobs. Some of our country's biggest and well-known stars like Paul McCartney and Sir Elton John have already voiced their concerns on this latest plan. And Britain's free press could also be massively affected, with online journalistic work being plundered by these massive data scrapers. Well, most, like myself, argue that our current copyright laws are very clear, which is quite simply, if you use an artist's work, you pay for it, and anything short of that is, well, theft. And same again, many like myself have probably already been targeted by this theft of your work just to train AI models, and this is done on a massive industrial scale. Now, instead of the government actually prosecuting these big tech firms, they're simply just changing the laws and, well, just legalising the theft of your work. And among those that are going to actually lose the most are the young, inspiring creators who, well, basically are not going to have the, well, financial backing or help to protect themselves from these AI models. And this could actually erode our world-known culture scene as AI replaces original creators. And many artists and creatives actually point to the fact that there's no actual market need for this. There's not a lack of any musicians, photographers, or anything like that. So why is it being done? And many insist the same, like myself, that we're keen to embrace AI, but only in a fairer manner. I use AI, but not in that sort of a sense. For example, when I actually post-process my photography work, there are a few elements in there which is AI denoise that, well, actually is removing certain bits of noise from the image. But when it comes to actually replacing the whole image, not so much. So creatives are actually calling on the government to strengthen the copyright laws rather than weaken them, just to help guard and protect their work from AI. They want licensing in all cases. This would mean that, well, if these big tech firms want to train their AI models, then yeah, sure, that's fine. But you need to pay the creator for the work that they're going to use. This in turn will actually mean a creator, well, is basically helping and creating and getting paid, which in turn is going to help these big tech firms to train their AI models, and, well, it's a win-win all round. So what's your view on these AI models, and do you agree that your work can just be used without your consent to train an AI model that can basically, well, create something that has been trained by your material and earn mega money from it when you get paid nothing? I don't know. You let me know what you think in the comments below. Hope you found this one useful and not too boring, but I think it's something that a good topic that people really should start to discuss. So until the next time, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, stay safe, we'll see you soon.